Hello everybody and welcome, I am Bricker Boom, and if you're in the US and celebrating today, happy Thanksgiving. If you're in other parts of the world, or just don't celebrate, then hello again, and happy Thursday. Today, because it's a short week for everyone, we're gonna go ahead and do a Mew run, because I still wanted to get a video out for all of you, and I realized this is the only legendary Pokemon of Generation 1 that I haven't been able to use just yet. While getting set up, I'll reveal that I do have a few runs in the work, like a Stantler run and a Jinx run, which if you watched last week's video, you probably already know that, but let's go ahead and hop into some of the fun stuff about Mew. Mew is an overall interesting Pokemon in regards to the fact that every single stat is at an even 100. This isn't bad by any means, though there are some stronger hitters out there. What really makes Mew unique, in my eyes, is the fact that he can learn every single TM that's available in the game. From a level up perspective, his moveset, well, honestly, it's kind of garbage. Mega Punch is powerful, but it misses a lot. Transform only gives us 5 PP of the opponent's move. Pound is garbage, and Ancient Power is Grace if you have Serene Grace, but we have Synchronize. The rival fight isn't anything too difficult, as Charmander uses Growl. We end up taking it out with only a few pounds and plenty of HP to spare. After that, we can go ahead and make our way through Viridian Forest. As always, we take out the additional trainers. I typically don't use rare candies at these lower levels unless absolutely needed. After going through the trainers and some wild mons, we double back to the route with the optional rival fight. And just keep in mind, for the rules, we can only use Mew in battle, but we can use other Pokemon for HM use, and we cannot use items in battle, but in between battle is totally fine. Now, with the optional rival fight, honestly there isn't a lot to cover. We keep hitting pound, and given our HP and our stats at this level, it doesn't really take all that long, so we end up booking it back to Pewter. With Brock, we have one of two options, and both aren't great. We can either keep pounding until we win, or we can transform and hope for the best. With Pound, we're only doing a few HP worth of damage, and by the time that we take the Geodude down, we're right around half HP. With Onix, we could try to pound, but we do end up getting taken down, but unfortunately the same thing happens if we transform as well. If we transform into the Geodude, we only have 5 Tackle, 5 Defense Curl. If we wait till we get to the Onix, we only have 5 Rock Tomb, Bind, and I believe Tackle. And we're just unfortunately not doing enough damage with any of those. So we have to level up to level 20 when we learn a bit more reliable of a move in Mega Punch. With Mega Punch, the Geodude is now a 3-shot, and we still have plenty of HP left over for Onix. When Onix comes out, it's more of the same, and he's hitting back, but thankfully, not doing too much damage. It does take a while for us to take out Onix, but when we do, we're able to go ahead and move on. After that, we can go through Mount Moon, and I just wanted to say, if you're watching my content for the first, 50th, or 100th time, thank you. In 2021, I started streaming on Twitch and uploading Let's Play content, and just at the beginning of this year, thanks to watching people like Madry Bread, J Rose, and Scott's Thoughts, I added Pokemon challenges into my rotation, and after a while, I actually began enjoying them more than the content I was doing, so I began switching over, and honestly, I couldn't be happier. Pokemon is the first video game franchise I actually became obsessed with, and now 20 plus years later, and I still love it. While I may not enjoy all the games and will be the first to tell you that Pokemon Stadium is a liar and a cheat, I still love it. Also, I took the Dome Fossil. I know nobody asked, but I felt like I needed to clarify for some reason. I don't really know why. Into Cerulean, we could go ahead and go fight Misty first, given the fact that Water Pulse can be handy in the route above if given the option. With Misty, we open up with Mega Punch as Staryu uses Harden. Misty heals up, and a turn or two later, we're able to take it down. Then with the Starmie, we Mega Punch it to Red. It uses Water Pulse that doesn't confuse us, and then we can take it down next turn. This did actually take me 2 attempts due to the first time I got confused and smacked myself 3 times in a row, so the battle was actually over pretty quickly. But hey, 2 badges down, and then we can see how we do against the rival up north. The rival opens up with Pidgeotto, and we start with Mega Punch to take it to Red. We then swap to Rock Tomb as it hits us with 2 gusts before we finally connect and take it down. Next up is Rattata, who goes down to Rock Tomb, and then Charmander we miss, get hit with Ember, then connect with Rock Tomb to take it down. Last is Abra, and we remember that we have Water Pulse in our moveset and swap to that to take it down, and that lets us move on. Through the route above, I wanted to go ahead and talk to you about some plans I have. Going into next year, I definitely want to continue to do Pokemon challenges, but I need help. I'd like to get some ideas from you for certain Pokemon, movesets, things like that you'd like to see. I know I have a Butterfree Beedrill run planned that should be fun, and I'd like to do a First Form Bug Challenge eventually. Other than that, I would like to continue the side series of deciding Pokemon teams for different video game franchises, because that's been a lot of fun. I've also been uploading shorts pretty consistently, where we're covering every single Pokemon and giving it a review in under 60 seconds. Additionally, a few friends and I are going to be starting a podcast, name pending, that'll be placed both here and wherever else you may want to listen to a podcast. And then finally, I gotta keep the 40-hour week job, but ideally in the next 3 to 5 years, I'd like to start shifting into doing this as a full-time gig, but we'll see where life leads us between now and then. In the time we spent talking, we've made our way to the SS Anne and only did one optional battle to gather an ether, and then go to the rival battle. The rival first sends out Pidgeotto, and we take it down with a Rock Tomb. Raticate is up next, and we can take it out with a Megaton Punch, a la Hercule. From there, Kadabra goes down to Mega Punch, and then Charmeleon goes down to a single Water Pulse. Being able to learn every move is such a ridiculous concept, and I wish that more Pokemon had this ability, but for the purposes of this challenge, it is a lot of fun. We grab Cut, then grab a Diglett so we can go ahead and not waste one of our move slots on a HM, and then get the Trash Can puzzle first try. With Surge, the Voltorb goes down to a single Mega Punch. As Pikachu comes out, we drown it and take it down with Water Pulse. And then last is Raichu. Raichu goes to not even half with Water Pulse, but we do get the Confusion luck and it smacks itself. Surge heals the Confusion, and then from there we land another Mega Punch to take it out and move on. I've been bouncing around the ideas of maybe doing a reaction to old Pokemon series or doing a once-a-week kind of episode. I remember watching the Indigo League stuff as a kid, but I never made it to the Orange Islands. I also haven't seen more than a couple episodes of the Johto League, so I think it could be fun reviewing a few seasons of Pokemon content. I think I'm coming to terms with the fact that I'm a PokeTuber, though while on Twitch I primarily play Dead by Daylight and various randomizers. Life can be weird sometimes. After going through the Dark Cave, we have a couple options available. I prefer to go to Celadon and take care of as much as I can, since we can't complete the tower without the Sylph Scope anyway. So we go to fight Giovanni first, but not before nabbing Psychic from the man in Saffron. I know that we learn it by level up, but I want it sooner rather than later, and we can also replace Shockwave with Thunderbolt. With Giovanni, he first sends out Onix, and we knock it out with a critical hit Water Pulse, though I don't think that was needed. Kangaskhan goes to about half with Psychic, retaliates with a weak Bite, and then goes down next turn. The Rhyhorn goes down to a single Water Pulse as well to win the battle. With Giovanni out of the way, we can go ahead and head to Erica's gym, and I'll give you a guess on how that goes. We press A button to use Psychic. That's it. That's the winning strategy. After the slog that was the Chikorita run, honestly, it's kinda nice using a decent Pokemon again. Now that Celadon City is basically done and out of the way, we can head back to Lavender Town. Not that I think you need to rotate moves, but Mew being able to learn all of them is proving to be fun. If you go against someone you don't think you can beat, you can likely find a TM that'll allow you to steamroll past them, and with a good physical and special, it's just dandy. Rival time. Pidgeotto's up first and immediately goes down to a single Thunderbolt. With Gyarados, 4 times weakness makes this an easy one-shot as well. Execute is next, and we take it to about half with Mega Punch as it sets up Leech Seed and heals a bit. We swap over to Psychic as a way to test damage, but we land a crit and end up taking it out. Kadabra's up, and we miss Mega Punch as it uses Kinesis, which only lowers our accuracy further. Thankfully, the next turn we connect and we can take it out. With Charmeleon, we miss Water Pulse, get hit with Smokescreen, and then manage to take it out, though I had to admit the victory was getting a little too close for comfort. With the rival tower out of the way, we have a little bit more game for us to complete, and it's been about 24 hours since writing the first part of the script and what I'm now writing. So make sure to join the Discord while I'm thinking about it. We do community nights, YouTube watch parties. We're actually going to be watching a couple movies tomorrow. We try to be as inclusive as possible, and there's always almost at least one person active. Overnight, it does get a little bit quiet since a majority of my friends that I made are within the US, but we do have a few overseas friends out there. Belgian, sheep, hi. We find ourselves in Fuchsia and we're able to do the Safari Zone and then head right over to Koga. Like I said, I try to make the battles as interesting as I can, or at least sync up the audio the best I can, but in cases like this, it's kind of hard. Mew is an absolute unit with Psychic and mows down his team, leaving nothing but destruction in his wake, all while looking adorable, kinda like Kirby. During this time, we make our way to Saffron City and arguably one of the hardest rival fights, given the decent level jump his Pokemon go through. The rival first sends out Pidgeot, and we open with Thunderbolt to take it out in a single shot, which is great since it enjoys sand attacking. The Gyarados, I'm sure you can imagine, is also an easy one-shot with Thunderbolt. Charizard goes to red with Thunderbolt, misses Scary Face, and then goes down next turn. Execute loses about a fourth of its health from Mega Punch and then paralyzes us, but Synchronize kicks in and we paralyze it in return. After that, we can still outspeed and take it out with Psychic. Last but not least is Alakazam, and we start by missing Mega Punch as it sets up Future Sight. We do land the next one as Alakazam begins to Calm Mind. We follow up by staying paralyzed next turn as it tries to set up Future Sight again before getting taken down by another Mega Punch. With that settled, we can finish the Sylph and Rocket plotline by facing Giovanni. Giovanni first sends out Nidorino, and in a moment of true overkill, we hit it with a critical hit Psychic. With Nidoqueen, we take it to red with a single Psychic as it hits a weak Poison Sting before going down. Kangaskhan goes to yellow with Psychic and only sets up a Tail Whip before it also goes down, which lets us win the battle and move on. With Sylphco out of the way, the only thing left to do in this town is take on Sabrina. Given the fact that we have a hard-hitting physical, albeit an accurate attack in Mega Punch, it does give me some hope. Kadabra's up first, and we immediately used Mega Punch to take it out in a single shot. Venomoth, a Pokemon I still don't think should be there, goes down to a Psychic. After that, Mr. Mime is also a one-shot with Mega Punch, and last is Alakazam, who we Mega Punch all the way to red as it hits us with Psychic and lowers our special. Sabrina heals up as a Thunderbolt takes it to yellow, and then another one takes it out to win the battle. With another gym down, we have 2 gyms left in the Elite Four, so this run has been going quite well. When this particular run is done, we'll be about 4 weeks away from having a challenge run done every Thursday, despite all the challenges this year has provided. If you've made it this far into the video, as a peek behind the curtain, in March, I lost my job again due to having no work, but it was a contract job, so that was to be expected. In July, I got summoned for jury duty and went through the whole ordeal, and while I won't release names or anything, actually seeing a crime committed in front of a camera and the autopsy pictures later can certainly mess with your mental health. Jury duty was over on July 23rd, and then the same day I was supposed to start my new job that I'm currently working at. My grandpa passed, but due to just starting the job, I got no bereavement time, so healing was and is a long and slow process. Since then, we do struggle some months more than others, but things do finally start to seem to be slowing down. I had people ask in my Discord while I was still trying to keep with an upload schedule, and the long and short answer is, I like it. I've been having a blast making these particular style of videos. I'm planning more reaction content to explore the Pokemon anime. Pokemon by Daylight is wrapping up soon, and we'll be exploring Stardew characters, and I've been consistently able to release shorts while still keeping up with my family and have a 40-hour-a-week job. Content creation is hard, I'm not gonna lie to you about that, but it's the new people that find the channel weekly with these runs that make it worth it. So if you haven't yet, hit the subscribe button for more and tell me, what Pokemon run would you like to see me do next? I can always use more ideas, and the more people that comment means that I get to make more tailor-made content towards something you like. Because of a comment, I'm actually working on a Furret run in Pokemon Heart Gold Soul Silver. But now, let's go ahead and fight Blaine. Growlithe is a simple one-shot, and then he brings out his Ace Arcanine. We can take it to yellow as always. It hits us with Fire Blast, taking a decent bit of HP before going down. After that, Ponyta's a one-shot, and that leaves us with just his Rapidash. Rapidash goes to red and hits us with a soft Fire Blast in comparison to Arcanine's, and then Blaine heals up. After that, it just takes 2 more Psychics before the Flaming Horse goes down. One more gym down and one more gym to go. Along the way, we finally do get rid of Water Pulse. It's been a good run, but this late in the game, it usually starts to wear off in effectiveness. While the confusion is nice, it just doesn't have a lot of power behind it. We grab Ice Beam, and when we beat Giovanni, we'll end up replacing Mega Punch for Earthquake, since it's a power physical move without a horde accuracy behind it. Giovanni first sends out Rhyhorn, and we can take it down with a single Ice Beam. Next up is the Speedster Dugtrio, and we swap over to Psychic and take it out. Nidoqueen also goes down to a single Psychic, and we can take down Nidoking in the same manner. Finally, it's his last Rhyhorn, who should absolutely be a Rhydon, and it too goes down to a single Ice Beam, and that wins us the battle, and with all that, have the last of the gym badges. Now we just have one more rival fight to cover before we're able to go to the Elite Four. The rival's up, and he first sends out Pidgeot, and we're no longer one-shotting his team. We don't even one-shot the Pidgeot, and we take it to red as it Feather Dances, which is fine since we primarily rely on special moves, and then we can take it down next turn. Rhyhorn is next, and as always, it goes down to a single Ice Beam, and the Execute meets the same fate. When Gyarados comes out, we switch to Thunderbolt, and that'll take it out. Next is Charizard, and we take it to yellow, paralyze it, get the paralysis block, and then we can take it down next turn. Last up is Alakazam, and unfortunately, due to the attack drop, our Earthquake doesn't do much as it Calm Minds. We swap to Ice Beam to take it below half as it hits us with Psychic, and then we can take it down with Thunderbolt to win the battle. Time for the Elite Four, and I feel pretty good about our chances. I know that the final rival fight will have our work cut out for us, but we also do a pretty good job at having something effective against his entire team. But we should probably see how we do against the rest of them before we start worrying about the final fight, especially since Chikorita didn't make it that far. Now, before we hop into that, I do want to point out, I did get a couple comments recently in the past videos. When I failed the Steven fight, should have used Iron Tail. And then when I failed the Chikorita run, should have used Iron Tail. Y'all, Iron Tail, for one, is not that great of a move, given the fact that the accuracy is horrid. And two, when you have a Gengar that is able to double team, and then relying on a move that isn't 100% accuracy to begin with, it doesn't end well. I tried for hours with Iron Tail, and it did not go well, y'all. But anyway, Lorelei first sends out Dugong, and we can take it below half as it hits us with Ice Beam. The next turn, we can go ahead and knock it out as well. Lapras is out, and we can take it to about half as it hits us with Ice Beam. The next shot, we take it to red. The berry procs, and it confuses us. Lorelei heals up, and we hit it again, and then next turn, we hit ourselves and get Ice Beam down to 9 HP before taking it down. The Slowbro and the Cloyster are both a one-shot, and then we use Earthquake on the Jinx, but it doesn't take it out, so he uses Ice Punch and takes us out. I actually end up trying this battle about a dozen times, but the end result usually ends up being the same. Rather than wasting too much time, we can go ahead and face a couple of Ace Trainers to level up once or twice, and then head back in to try again. Dugong is up first, and we can take it to about half, and rather than use Ice Beam, it uses Surf. The next turn, we're able to go ahead and take it out. Lapras is next, and we hit it with Thunderbolt. It hits us with Surf, and then we can critical hit it with Psychic to take it out. Cloyster's up, and for some reason it doesn't use Protect, so we can take it out with Thunderbolt. When Slowbro pops out, we take it to yellow as it sets up Calm Mind, but it didn't land in healing range, so we can take it out with one more Thunderbolt. Last is Jinx, and we use Earthquake to take it to yellow. It misses its Lovely Kiss, and that lets us use one more Earthquake to take it out and win the battle. I was a bit surprised that it took more than one attempt, but that's my average Lorelei attempt for you. So let's go ahead and fight Bruno. With Bruno, there isn't much of a recap if we're being honest, because the Onix goes down to Ice Beam. After that, we're able to take out the Hitmonchan and the Hitmonlee, both with a single Psychic each. While the Onix, we swap back to Ice Beam and knock it out. Then with Machamp, we take it to red, the berry activates and pulls it out of healing range, which lets us take it out next turn. With Agatha, the Gengar is an easy one-shot, and then with the Golbat, we swap to Thunderbolt and take it to what I have to imagine is 1 HP as it uses Confuse Ray. Agatha heals up, and we push past Confusion not just once, but twice to take it out. Arbok is next, and we get hit it for a one-shot as well. When the Gengar comes out, our luck comes to an end as we smack ourselves and get put to sleep. The Gengar sets up Nightmare and hits us with Shadow Ball, and we very quickly find ourselves down to 31 HP before we wake up and thankfully one-shot it. After that, I'm thankful that we're able to take down the remaining Haunter as well to win a very narrow victory. Blast his Lance, so we can take out the Gyarados in one shot with Thunderbolt. When the Aerodactyl comes out, we can take it to red and get hit with Ancient Power, but thankfully no boost. Lance heals up, and we can take it to red again, then get hit with one more Ancient Power before we can take it down. Dragonite comes out, and we can take it to red as it uses Safeguard, and the berry heals it out of healing range before it too goes down. After that, both of the Dragonair are a one-shot, and that lets us move on to the final rival fight. With the final rival fight, he sends out Pidgeot first, and we can take it down with a single Psychic. This is what surprises me, because when the Gyarados comes out, despite Thunderbolt being 4 times effective against it, we only take it to red. Dragon Rage does a decent bit of damage, obviously, and then the rival heals up. 2 more Thunderbolts do the trick. Next is Charizard, and we can take it to yellow and paralyze it, but it still hits us with Fire Blast before going down. For some reason with the Alakazam, I just swap between Thunderbolt and Ice Beam, and it stalls the battle quite a bit with Recover, and we do manage to finally take it out, but it hits us with Psychic beforehand, and we only have 7 HP. Rhydon, surprisingly, doesn't go down to an Ice Beam, but it does get frozen, so even with the healing, we're able to take it down without issue. Last is Exeggutor, and I brace myself for a loss, but we get the freeze, and then we can take it down for a victory. While that ending was very unexpected, I will say that it made for a fun battle and challenge. I think that because of the moveset, I think that Pokemon like Gengar and Mew actually perform better than Mewtwo. While the stats are technically lower, or, well, at least in Gengar's case, the fact that you can learn whatever move needed makes it a lot more powerful, in my opinion. But, once again, happy Thanksgiving to everyone in the States, and I hope the upcoming holidays are fun. We have a holiday channel in the Discord, so if y'all join, make sure to share some fun holiday pictures. I think I covered most everything I wanted to with previous ramblings, but hey, thanks for sticking around. I have a few holiday challenges I'm prepping right now with Jinx, Stantler, mostly because I'm not brave enough yet to try Delibird, so I hope you enjoy them as they come out, and, as always, if you liked the video, even if you didn't like the video, hit the like and subscribe button, because it really does help me out. And until next time, everybody, peace out.